back to the show.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Project Daily, where today we're finally gonna make it run. So, a little couple things I did behind the scenes, just because, well, they're super boring, was I put on the alternator, AC, and power steering pump. Those, you guys, there's a million videos on YouTube on how to replace them. And this channel isn't really so much a guide channel anymore, as I'm learning just as you guys are learning. So there's stuff where we learn together. Anyway, so today is the day we're finally gonna make this run. So we have all the performance stuff in. We've got the air oil separator, we got the intake, we got the TGV deletes, we got all the gauges in the car. And it's pretty much radiator, coolant, filling up oil, intake, and that is it. And we got the professional here today again. We got Adrian. His car isn't here today. Guess what happened? His power steering pump decided to actually destroy itself. Yeah. It literally, the inside of it just imploded, so yeah, that's cool. But so we don't have our reference car today. I like to use it as a reference, just looking at where stuff go, but we got most of it on today. This bracket actually isn't even the right bracket for the power steering. I had to get a Japanese or JDM one, and it's not the right one, so we made it work. I actually just grinded it away, but not too much. So what Adrian is doing is he's just working on a little bracket there. I'm just gonna polish up the top of the radiator and make it all shiny because, well, Adrian, like 6 months ago now, ended up actually taking some, what is it, Scotch-Brite, and actually just cleaning up, so that's all good. And then I gotta go get some coolant because, well, I didn't get enough. And then, yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna get this radiator shine. Check that out, guys. The top of the radiator is super shiny. It's not perfect by any means, but it looks so much better than it did before. And it gets aluminum dust everywhere, but we're all good now. And then Adrian went ahead, painted that, and then he also went ahead and installed the intercooler because he works fast. So we had to move some hoses around. So these guys now run under this bracket instead, which honestly is probably about the same. I don't know how they manage you or want you to go over top this hose. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's the way they're going. They're all running under here. We got the intercooler on, new gaskets. Adrian hand torqued them because he knows the torque. And now we're putting together the radiator. We're gonna toss that on, toss all the hoses, and then we're essentially going to start filling up with coolant. And then I gotta go run and get some more coolant because I don't think they sold me enough coolant. And then also some power steering fluid, which is actually just ATF in this car. There we go. So it is all put together. So there's just a hose running here, and then these connect to your up tank on the top. So it's time to drop it in, make sure we plug in the fans, and then put up the hoses. We gotta make sure, because I broke some of the clips for these, we got to make sure that it stays pushed back and we don't squish those. But other than that, we should be good. And just go to attach it down there. And then your upper, well, we don't attach the upper one because that is where we fill. It's all connected. So really there's these connections, and then you have your main one down there. And then this one, because we're filling a new block, you just got to keep this off, and then you fill it up from here and then work your way up. But yeah, we're pretty much ready to fill it. Adrian got the power steering pump on. We did want to put this guy where the power steering pump reservoir sits, but I don't know what I'm going to do here now. I might just go get double-sided tape and tape it on right down there, because that's probably the best idea. But yeah, so we're going to fill it, and then it is like so close, guys. There we go, we have it filled with coolant, or well, some of the coolant. We actually need to go to Subaru, get some more. We also need to grab coolant conditioner that Subaru has. So we're gonna go to Subaru, but anyways, we fixed, there was a leak coming from the drain plug down there. We actually had to pull it out and put some thread tape and screw it back in. Well, now it won't go all the way, but it's definitely sealed, so we're good there. And then there's a little spot that's down here. It's gonna be hard for you guys to see. That hose right there. There's a tiny bit of coolant on it, but we don't know where it's coming from, so We wiped it up and it's pretty much dry now, so we're gonna leave it while we go get the coolant and power steering fluid, and then when we come back we'll see if it's leaking, because there'll be coolant right where that light is. Anyways, we'll go grab the coolant and we'll be back. So there we go, we have our 2 things of coolant, and we have the coolant conditioner that Subaru recommends. This is essentially sealant or sealing stuff. It says it has anti-corrosive stuff in it, but it really just helps leaks and head gaskets. And then we got some ATF, which is Subaru recommends for the automatic, or not, they recommend ATF for your power steering. So that's gonna go in there. And then Adrian just tossed on the intake, and he's putting on our beautiful, sweet, clean air filter.
Don't fit.
It definitely does. That is a new K&N filter because, well, the SPT one that was on the car was absolutely trash and it was destroyed, so we just got a new filter. There we go. Beautiful, awesome. And we kind of fixed our leak. So there's a leak, guys, up there. And as you can see, it's now dry, but there's some zip ties on there. There's actually a hose on the other side with some sealant, and that is now sealing that hose, because we're not going to pull that hose off because it's just going to drain all the liquid. But next time I do a coolant flush, we'll switch out that hose. We are very close, guys, as I said now. I'm really filling some coolant. We topped up the oil, and oh yeah, there's the old filter. It looks pretty clean, totally, to the new filter. But yeah, so there we go, battery in, and then we are going to prime the oil system. How do you do that, Adrian?
What?
How do you prime the oil system?
Just unplug the crank sensor.
Yeah, so we're going to unplug the crank sensor, turn it over, it's going to pressurize everything. We're going to make sure we have oil pressure on our new gauges. We're going to see the fuel pressure on the gauge, and then we're going to see if it turns over. Check it out, guys. It is so close. So Adrian filled up power steering. That's all good. We topped it up the coolant. I don't know if I showed you guys that. We got the new intake in. It literally is up against the engine bay, which really is not that big of a deal. It just is a little bit tight. But we try to make it like squeeze these closer we can. So that's the way it's gonna be. Then pretty much coolant's all done. We just put the battery in. I heard it beeping because we put the negative on and it was, the door is open, so it's beeping. So yeah, we're just rewiring the HID wires, and then we're on to the last thing. So the last thing on this car is the exhaust. So I'm gonna go climb under there, have Adrian toss me them, and we got new gaskets for both the downpipe and the mid pipe. We'll toss those on, and then we're good to go, and we're good to start it up. Which you guys have all been waiting for, and why probably you came to this video, but you guys gotta work for it, I guess. The last taped bolts, guys, is exhaust. So put on the downpipe, and then we're good to go. It's finally time, guys. It's finally time to start Project Daily. Or well, we're gonna prime the fuel system. So Adrian removed the crank position sensor, so now that's off. I'm gonna turn it over, and it should hopefully prime the system, and we should be good after that to see if it starts. Anyways, finally got the keys. We connected the battery, so here we go. Gotta make sure it's also in neutral, because we did put it in drive at one point. I don't know what for. Oh, access port is trying to access the vehicle. Oh yeah. There's lights in here. We have stuff going on. Oh, look at those gauges. Like turn it on and off. Oh yeah, the fuel pressure is going up. So we can tell that gauge works, guys. Okay. Stop it. Everything looking good? Stop it. So what he's doing there is plugging in the crank position sensor. So you know what that means, guys. We're gonna try to start it. So yeah, that's the thing. I'm keeping this rolling just to show you the process that we're kind of going through here. But yeah, it's exciting. My heart rate's probably like, it's stupid high. Try it? Give her? Okay. Here we go. Okay. Neutral. Parking brake wasn't on. We got shocks though, so we're good. Okay. Should I turn it off and just turn it back on again? Okay. Okay. Ready? I heard it. Just let it crank over again. Okay. Just crank it till it starts. Okay. As you can tell, I'm actually shaking right now. Oh boy, it's running. Turn it off. The bottom ones? Yeah. Shaky? Well, the idle's really rough. Look at that, guys. Anyways, okay, it's idling like hard. Did you hear?
Yeah, it will.
Well, with TGV deletes, it does not know what's going on right now, guys. Like, it's absolutely freaking out, but it started, so that is good. That means we're good. Took Adrian a week to start his car, just a little tidbit, because he forgot to plug in the starter, so he made sure to have me do that this time, so yeah. So I'm just gonna do a quick check over everything, and then we'll probably start it up again and see how that goes. So this is the second start, so here we go. It's alive, guys! So literally everything on the car is smoking because we got the ceramic wrap, we got the heat wrap, we got the turbo blanket, it's over fueling, there's smoke coming from everywhere, but it's working. We have oil pressure, we have coolant, we have power steering, we have AC, everything is working. We did it, guys, the car is finally working. And shout out to this man right here. This man helped me so much. He knows exactly what's going on after, well, he's done this once to his car, and he's a trained heavy-duty mechanic, so he knows what's going on. Anyways, he helped so much with this car. I can't thank him enough, but anyways, we got Project Daily going. We're gonna go have some food, let it cool off, and then we're gonna make sure there's no oil on the ground or coolant on the ground. And then I think I'm gonna put it that way and give it a wash. I don't have the pressure washer because it's broken, so I think I'm gonna, the nozzle's broken, so I'm gonna foam it down and then I'm just gonna rinse it down. But I think we're gonna do one other thing before we go eat. So those gauges all work. So you know what that means? That means we can put them. It locked itself. I probably shouldn't do that. Let's set off the alarm. There we go. Countdown command starts. So we can push this down, guys. Oh, come on. 1, 2, oh, 3. Wow, that looks good. Anyways, I'll be back in a second. Ta-da! It's back on all 4 tires. It's been a long time since this has happened, but it's finally time to take it for a drive. Forrester's warming up because I have to go somewhere, but what we're gonna do is pull it around, get it out here, and then we're gonna go for a cruise. Very short one, just around the block, and then we'll be good to go. Oh boy, we're going. Okay, let's go for a cruise, but tires are a little bit low. We've got wires hanging down, but we're good.
Windshield's a little dusty.
Windshield's just a tiny bit dusty. Let's go.
Why is airplane mode on?
Why? Because it saves battery. Ooh, feedback knock. -5 already. I'm just driving. It's moving under its own power. Oh boy. This is awesome. Oh, look at the fuel pressure! Everything's working. Oh, those brakes are a little clunky. Under load, 11 for a fuel ratio is good, isn't it? Wrap. Damn, this feels good. So, gauges are all working. I think we have exhaust leak. Can you hear it?
Probably, yeah.
So I guess I'll fix that. Oh yeah, we got a major exhaust leak. Only a little bit of feedback knock when I almost stalled it, but all the gauges are looking good, so. And this person does not like. Oh yeah. Sounds good. I'll turn around up here. Smells a little bit like everything is heating up and cooling down, which I mean is good, so got that going for us. Woo, this is awesome. Finally! Finally!
Right?
This is so good. The fans haven't even kicked on yet. So there we go, everything is working. As you can tell, it's steaming a little bit. That's just because we're burning off everything that's on. But I'm just looking at the turbo, there's no oil leaks there. That was a little bit of worry. Everything's good down here. It's not dropping anything. We do know we have that coolant leak down there, but that's not a big deal. But everything else seems to be good. And then if we go to the back, there is a little bit of overfueling, but there's no blue smoke from the turbo, so we're all good on that aspect. We started off today in there with Project Daily. The engine was not ready to go, but with the help of him, Adrian, and about 8 hours of work, we finally got Project Daily going. It's running better than ever. There's a few exhaust leaks here and there, and the coolant we have to fix, but other than that, it is running so much better. So I guess the next video you guys will be seeing is getting the car tuned. Actually, no. The video after that will be getting the car tuned. We have a couple things, we gotta clean it. But other than that, that is it for today. So, as always, peace out, and stay humble.